Essential minimum development without devastation. Concentrate to release green areas with common sense criteria and systemic thinking are three general architectural lines to work with these special days. Here, three examples.
How to preserve land to the maximum possible. How to reduce intervention to the essential minimum. How to present the concept less is more from a globalizing and totalizing vision of the complete and complex building process. Can the building be understood as a living organism, as alive as the earth, the rocks, or the plants? The project starting from the base of a prismatic volume of relationship 2:1 as an abstract element that represents the concept of building, that which must be constructed with the material in existence, the shale rock. In other words, it is not about transferring and creating artificial material, but rather of transforming the existing one. Hence, with these conditions, the building will be partially buried. The consequence is, it will improve the integration parameters of building territory, building environment, and building landscape, while also taking better advantage of the environmental variables. But perhaps the most remarkable thing is that the building develops inversely to the manner normally established. Here the idea is not to fill in empty space in order to construct, but in fact exactly the opposite, to generate holes in the filled space to create a building. The ground is eroded to form a building leaning toward the light of the sun, protecting the open public spaces from the predominant wind, accepting the slope of the land as a form of modulation of the circulatory pattern, using contact with the ground as a form of absorbing energy, concentrating public services in strategic places, and the private ones as a protective sections in the cold northern faces. The site plan complies then with two important properties. The first minimizes the occupation factor to such a point that it can be understood as zero. Thus, although the entrance, the internal square, and the roof are human interventions, they're also part of a treatment that associates, encompasses, and integrates landscape, territory, topography, and building. Secondly, the building is not developed in height, but rather it follows the logic of the landscape and the topographic plot. The building emerges as part of the territory. It is part of it. It doesn't make sense to have an environmentally integrated building if we damage the environment to build it. The initial approach must take into account the construction process in conjunction with the environment in a responsible, sensible, and integrated way. And here, the concept of economy of resources, essential minimum development, and economy intervention begin to take form, giving a new sense and impetus to the previously mentioned concept of less is more. This process construction will have to be seen as a modification of the biosphere, that is to say, as the modification of a living system that includes the chemical and biological processes necessary to sustain life on the planet and to adapt it to human needs.